Hey y'all, so we are recapping Love is Blind this last season. I'm Meka, and this is
Jey.
Jey. So let's go ahead and get into it. It's gonna be pretty quick because this was the wedding episode, the altar. Who's going to the altar? So it starts off because the last episode ended with Emma and Mike. Like I said, I thought that Mike was potentially going to say no.
Correct. Yeah.
And the reason I thought that is because he asked a direct question, which was, do you want to have, I want to know that you want to have children. And although she said yes at the altar, he was not convinced. And he did say, the producers asked him later on after they left the altar and everything, that if she would have been a little bit more persuasive, like convincing, like, yes, I want kids, he said he potentially would have said yes, but he opted to say no. And I have a little, because, I get the tea. From my understanding, Mike is already dating somebody else. It's not looking like they are together, but we will find this out officially during the reunion. Yeah. So what do you think? Like, I kind of wasn't that shocked about that after I thought about it. So
wasn't shocked. I thought he was going to say yeah, but looking back on it, the way that he was gesturing and whatnot, during the whole thing, I could definitely see him being like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do this with you if you ain't about it. So I get that.
Yeah. Because that's a big thing, right? Like, that's a life event. And I feel like if that's really important to you, that's probably something that you shouldn't budge on, as far as having kids, things like that. Nothing wrong with not wanting kids, but if you really want them, then yeah, you should definitely be with somebody else who also wants them. You don't want to feel like you're forcing somebody to do something they don't want to do, So then we have your favorite, Ashley and Alex. They're not your favorite, but I'm being a little, whatever. But one second, her has a guinea pig and it's squeaking. So give me a second. Guinea pig is stressed. So anyway, Ashley and Alex, I kind of already had a feeling that they weren't vibing too much. They kept arguing about stuff. She kept questioning him about his past, which we talked about on the previous video. She kept questioning him about like his past, basically wanting to play-by-play of all the people he had dated prior to her. She was basically anything that didn't line up with what he had already told her. She was like, that's suspicious. To be fair, her father wasn't too convinced with him either. Her father is a divorce attorney. Did you know that?
Nah.
Yeah, so he's a divorce attorney, and although he liked Alex, he kind of was like, he doesn't seem like he's the most truthful man on the planet, but it remains to be seen. He didn't know. He was going to give him a chance, right? But Ashley got up there, and to me, it was very, I don't know. It seemed very fake to me. Like, a lot of the, whole girl thing is cool, whatever, that you're standing up for yourself and all that. But I just felt like it was theatrical and just dramatic. And I'm not quite sure if he necessarily deserved that. And I know that's not a popular opinion because people feel like he's a liar and this and that. I'm not so convinced that he's necessarily a liar, more so than he can't remember every freaking thing he did all the time. Like, especially in such a quick time frame. You know what I'm saying? Like, they only know each other, I think at that point, 6 weeks? I always get the timeline mixed up. Like that. And it's like you're having to push out a bunch of information in that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Alex, I don't know the man, but he didn't seem... it's different from the other ladies that I see online that really are going in on him. I don't necessarily think he's a bad dude. I think that he has a past, just like anybody has a past.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. So, what do you...
Put that on the right...
Give the real, because you really wasn't with that at all.
I wasn't. I thought it was... she just got to kind of
embarrass her.
Fool. He let her rock. Excuse me, y'all. He let her rock, which more than what I would have done. But he handled it with class, just kind of took on the chin and kept it moving.
Yeah.
I don't think that she, after seeing her act like that, and kind of seeing how she was, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure that it was like overly, it was too genuine anyways. But so I think she one of them people that was up there for a little bit, just out of the way that she was going about things, because the stuff that she was getting mad at him about, but he wasn't blatantly lying to her and stuff, but she was asking him stuff that had nothing to do with it. It wasn't none of her business, to be perfectly honest. You know what I mean? So she was just finding a reason.
Yeah. You missed the part where his homeboys was like, "Are you gonna go check on her?" Because usually when
No,
they get
he's
down
like,
from that,
nah.
he was like, "Nah."
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was a wrap for them. I expect there is going to be predictions, right, for the reunion. I think they're gonna have some
A
exchanges
little bit,
and
yeah.
have some drama.
Yeah,
And,
because he has to after the fact.
yeah,
So.
yeah. And then there's Big and Christine, and that was so sweet. It was lovely. I thought it was really they seem like they're a good couple. They seem a good match. The families like each other. Her mom seems cool. His mom seems really nice too.
Yeah, I'll give it that. They didn't have any drama, you know what I'm saying? Like, they seem like they're geniuses. So
Yeah. So they ran off into the sunset. That was it. She looked really pretty. He looked good, so good stuff, right? Good for them. Not last, but who else went up there? Oh, so there's a lot going on with this one. Amber and Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Amber and Jordan. So, backstory, because it's been all over the blogs, and we hadn't gotten on here to do our take on this, but basically Amber and him agreed to say no at the altar. They agreed to say no at the altar, and Amber got up there and said yeah. And if you pay attention to the people in the crowd, like his sisters and his I think his mom was there maybe, but his people, when he said yes, they were not only shocked, but Amber was visibly shocked. She was like, what? And so, nobody is talking about this, but the little girl, right?
Mhm.
Like, the little girl was crying. And I was thinking when it was happening, you would think I'd be like, oh, she's crying happy tears. But I remember looking at the little girl and I was like, I'm not sure if those are happy tears or not, or confusion. Because she seemed kind of like confused. The brother seemed like he wasn't really feeling it, vibing with it too much. Apparently these two have been arguing the entire time. We talked about this on another video that we wish we would have saw a little bit more of what was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I don't know why Love's Blind picks and chooses certain things, but to me, I feel like not only would that have been entertaining, but that would have gave a little bit more, context to their relationship and what was really going on in their relationship. Turns out, and this is allegedly, Amber has potentially a drinking problem that Jordan cannot rock with. And I remember saying this to you when we were watching the episodes. Remember, I was like, she be looking saucy, And here I am thinking I'm being judgmental. Turns out I was pretty much on point about that. So yeah, they got married, but again, we're hearing on the blogs and what's to come, spoilers and whatnot, by the way, for the reunion, that they are already not together anymore. That they actually did move in together, and then they were only living in the house together for maybe 3 or 4 months, something like that.
Yeah, it's long enough to irritate the hell out of somebody.
It is. You'll find out really quickly once you live with somebody if that's gonna work or not, because you can't live with everybody, So yeah, it's you learn people real quickly. But anyway, I think that's what happened, and supposedly Jordan packed his stuff up and bounced. He just packed up and left. I don't want to say for sure if he didn't say anything or not, because I can't remember.
Hold on. Did they move to her house?
That's the other issue. I think he moved, and that was the other thing. He wanted to still live by the bars and stuff like that. And when he was saying that, it didn't really set off any alarm bells for me. I just was thinking maybe it's an adjustment. You know what I'm saying? He's open to being married, so maybe he's open to understand that he can't be at the bar all the time now, right? Or something like that. Because they have a child now and all this other stuff. She don't have the freedom that he has. And if he's going to marry her, that's going to restrict some of his extracurricular activities, or it could potentially. He don't have to, but it could, Ideally, it maybe should a little bit, should adjust slightly if you're thinking about marrying somebody, right? You don't have to change your whole life, but there's some adjustments with that, right?
Yeah, that's a tough adjustment when you ain't got no kids, though.
When you don't have, we talk about this all the time. I
remember the first time I dealt with somebody when I didn't have no kids. It was first of all, and a little side note about me, I love my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love kids and kids attach to me. I don't
love our kids, other people's kids.
And truth be told, keep them hell away from me if all you can. Not gonna happen to me. I just don't like them. You know what I'm saying? everything in my family with like when a newborn baby is born, they're
It's
showing
weird.
her, it's like, don't give it to me. I don't want to hold it. You know what I'm saying? Once it gets old enough to give me a time, then we'll have that
High
first
five.
connection. Nah. But you know, at that point in time, we can cross that thing. But I'm just
Yeah.
not a big kid person. So for me, you know, I say that to say, for me to, you know, over time, like get in relationships with people that had kids
Yeah.
when I didn't have any, it was an adjustment, and you do have to make certain concessions, and hence why I did not really have a real relationship with anybody with kids until I had kids.
Yeah, I remember it's the same thing. Like I remember when I was like 24, I think I dated somebody that was like 30 and they already had a kid. And I remember the dude was like, "Oh, take her down to the pool." And I remember we went down to the pool. She was hella bad. Like hella bad. And I was like, "Oh no, this ain't for me."
I don't walk off from
This ain't for me. And I
like at the
left.
park they do
And I
something.
did not call that man no more.
Turn around, I'm good, man.
I was young, y'all. I didn't have time. I had no kids at the time. I ain't had no kids for a reason at the time because I knew I just wasn't mature enough for that. I wasn't willing. I was selfish. I didn't want to give up none of my time. I want to be able to do what I want to do. Go eat where I want to eat. Go, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of restrictions sometimes that come with the children. Love them. We love them, but it is what it is. So
yeah, they're here. So that was it. But you know, probably good they didn't. They had a lot of hangups, and even though she seemed cool, she did at times seem a little. And he, you know, he just kind of Jordan seemed really cool.
Jordan did say, I will
but,
say that Jordan,
you know,
did seem
Jordan
real
probably
cool.
would be better off with just somebody that, you know, wants to stay. I think the biggest thing would have been like the area. He was dead set he didn't want to move to Mount Vernon. Sometimes when you live somewhere you don't want to be, it can really mess with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that couple of other stuff, they probably could have worked it out, or maybe at least a little bit longer had they not been. You know, that adjustment that he wasn't ready for, I guess.
Yeah. And then she's kind of like solidified, right? Because she purchased her home. Her daughter goes to a certain school, maybe a good school that her daughter goes to. Maybe she didn't want to.
She had a thing with the dad.
Yeah, maybe she didn't want to adjust that too much. But, and that's understandable for her too. That's just maybe something they should probably have talked about a little bit more, maybe. Again, I said that in the last video. Like, I feel like they did not touch on those hard issues before they got out that pod. You know, like, especially if that's so important to her. He had one thing he didn't want to relent on necessarily, and she was not willing to go the other way. They should have just found the middle ground and just said, "Hey, let's just date after this." You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And then she's gonna get a goofy ass up there and say yes.
Because
she probably don't want to look like the bad guy or something. Or maybe she had a few sips before she took her ass up there.
I would like to know, like, why. And I saw the text message too that she sent the producers, and she told them she was going to say yes, and she totally understands if he says no, but she's going to say yes.
Well, maybe maybe she just wants to. Well, either way, they both said yes.
Yeah, Jordan, the one that folded, he folded because she had already said what she was gonna do.
Yeah, but you know, maybe he leveled fly to him. He took the chapter down. I don't know.
So moving on, Devontae and Brittany. Okay. So they did not make it to the altar. Devontae came over to her crib and they're sitting there like holding hands and talking, and just always looks not thrilled to be around her in any type of way.
He's
like
not attracted to her.
And he's sitting there and they do the whole thing where they're not going to the altar because they're supposed to be at the altar at this point. They're in her apartment instead. And they're like talking about why that's not happening. I feel like Brittany just was not accepting what was going on. I think that no matter what he was trying, I think he called himself trying to be nice, but I feel like with her, you have to be very direct. And he was not doing that. He still, like when she would be like, you know, I still think you're the love of my life. You are the love of my life, and we fell in love, and it's gonna be okay. And then
she's a little
she kept saying things like, "We're getting married." Like she kept saying that, and it started to become a little cringy listening to Brittany talk because I'm like, "Girl, stand up. This man is not interested." You know. And there was a point. We'll just get to it already. When it's time to say their goodbyes, she's like, okay, you know, she's giving him hugs like, oh, I'll see you later tonight. And he's like, I'll keep in touch.
He should have got some breakup yam.
He said he didn't know, but come to find out, they never did anything. They
never
did anything.
Like he just put like this. This is what I think. One, not attracted to her. Like you've seen the stuff after the fact. You see and there's no problem with it, but he has a different
He has
type
a
of look,
preference, yeah.
that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. But he had the preference. She ain't it. She was throwing herself in every way at him. He kept it moving. So I was like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he moved on and they started talking to people with his preference or whatever, kicking it with Alex down the floor.
And he was doing them just as bad. Like, I've been on the blogs and stuff, and the girl came out and said that he was a liar. He was disappearing. He was not affectionate. Everything that he was doing to Brittany, he was doing to her. She was white.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. It just
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with her, but what I'm saying is
if you're not into a person, I'm petty.
But what I'm trying to say was, like, it doesn't make a difference whether they're white, black, or purple. He's gonna treat them the same because he's just not that great of it. All accounts, not that great of a dude.
Well, the thing is, men and women are sometimes not the greatest of people that they're not interested in. I'm pretty sure we all have not treated a person the best that was interested in us and we weren't interested in. I can say firsthand, I definitely have. You know what I mean? It happens. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even do it intentionally. You know what I'm saying? You can do it unintentionally. You just aren't attracted to a person. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now you're on national TV, on Netflix. Everybody can see you. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you normally handle. So just now people get to sit and judge you for how you go about those.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, put it like this. The one thing I will give him was she's up there throwing it at him and he didn't take it. He could have just said, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this and see what it's like, just for the hell of it. He didn't even do that, so I'll give him that much.
I mean, I guess if you want to give him some type of credit, but also, my whole thing about him, though, is like, I just don't think that from my understanding, because there's various women that he's talked to of different colors, heights, whatever the case you want to call it, status, financially, all that stuff, he treats them all the same. So I think he's just not in the space right now to be in a serious relationship, although apparently he has a baby on the way. That still don't mean that you're capable of being in a serious relationship. It just means you lay down and you did the dang and a baby came out of it. That's all that means.
Pretty much.
So, but there's also whispers that he's potentially engaged. Wouldn't be the first time he was engaged to Brittany. So again, doesn't really mean anything at this point. I think he's just not, I'm not saying that he's not, I guess you're right. Like, I don't want to say he's a terrible dude, but I think right now he's out here playing in people's face. At this point in his life, that's what he's into. Who's to say a couple years from now, he might be in a different space, right? But right now he's playing the field or he's playing around with people. So that's what it is. I think that's fair to say,
Yeah.
But yeah, like the whole thing where he was just like, what did he say to her? He said, I'll see you around or something like that. And she just keys it off and laughs it off. So she's like, you're so funny. You play too much. And I'm like, girl, he's not playing.
No, he kept it 100 with her. He was straight up with her. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. He was straight up with her.
That's a little.
He was straight up with her. He was like, hey, look, I'm not feeling this. We're not vibing. Which cool.
No, that's not what he said.
Well, no, that's not what he said. But he was like, maybe just what trying to hurt me. I mean,
again, she's being blind. But
I don't think he was right, but I think it wasn't as bad as this. So
That's pretty bad. But two things can be true. He can be a jerk or she can be gullible. And that was just a recipe for disaster. Like, and she's online, she's defending herself, and she has the right to defend herself. And she seems like she has a really big heart. I'll give that to her. She seems like she's a really nice person. Again, a few things can be true at the same time. You can be a really nice person with a really big heart, but you can also be gullible. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that can happen. And I think that's where she's at right now. Hopefully she learns from this and she meets somebody that she's able to recognize that actually cares for her.
Yeah.
Like,
hopefully.
I hope that she is able to find that. But yeah, that was that.
We'll see.
But the reunion, I have a feeling, because these reunions have been lackluster a little bit. My hopes are that Devontae they gonna just go in on him because I need the drama. My hopes are that Ashley and Alex get into it because, again, I need the drama, not because I feel like any drama.
Hopefully he can get up there and
hopefully he says something.
Cool, Devontae. Yeah, gets up there and defends himself, and they just kind of leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there wasn't. I'm looking forward to seeing what goes on with the whole, after the fact of the whole Connor, Chris type of situation, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Connor needs to confront Chris. I would like to see that. know what I'm saying? Be like, Chris, man, what
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I would like
You
to
sitting
see
up
that
there?
too. Like, what's good? Like,
They gotta give Chris some drinks before they go in there. Chris needs to get his little sauce.
I know, but from what I saw, Chris up there trying to act like he 007, he done grew his hair out. He actually, a lot of the cast didn't look that great as far as their outfits. I'll give it to Chris. Chris actually looked good in his outfit. He was put together. I was actually, okay, that's probably where that's gonna end with the compliments for Chris, because I have a feeling it's about to be some mess, but from what I could see, he's pretty quiet on this reunion. And I think he just kind of sitting there letting them.
How do you feel this season was? Because we've done 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
Right? Of the 3 seasons, how do you feel about, this one versus the other one?
Which one? We did Minnesota, and what was the one before that?
And was it Denver? Was it Denver? Was the first one Denver that we watched? Because we started with it was Denver, because that's where Calabria and all them were. We started with Minnesota, and then it was Denver, and then they went to, because we were thinking it was going to be Austin the whole time. So Minnesota sucked, and that really sucked, because you guys probably don't know, but that's my home state. I was really thinking that it was going to, they didn't show nothing about
that was probably the worst
now that you've been there, remember how they, like, when they went out in town and stuff, it don't even really look like a representation of Minnesota.
I was just about to say that, like, I got a chance to go there with him, and like, I like Minnesota. I thought it was cool or whatever. I don't think that the show really represented Minnesota that well. I don't know.
It didn't even represent the people well. Like, it was weird. It's like.
But you and your sister both did say that you recognize some of the people that are not recognize them as you knew them, but the type of people. Yeah.
So, I mean, it was what it was. I would say Denver was probably the best one. And that was mainly because of Edmund and Calabria. And, last season.
That was a good one. I thought this season was better than that one. Edmund was the only entertaining thing on there. Edmund and Calabria. Outside of that, it really wasn't.
Edmund and Calabria, they had Joe was on there.
Joe was funny.
You know what I'm saying? They had the whole thing with the dude David, the Asian guy who last season,
some good stuff.
You like last season better than this one. I definitely liked last season better than this one, I think.
Okay.
This one just kind of came and went for me, so
Okay.
We'll see. Honestly, I'm kind of glad this season is over. Just because we did this back to back, because we just came out of Love Is Blind season 9, and I need some variation. So I'm looking forward to hopefully the Ultimatum coming up, Love Island, something like that.
I'm gonna say Treasure Island.
No.
What is that called? Temptation Island. That
something
one.
like that. Because we're getting to the spring, summertime, so look forward to that stuff. But I mean, we'll be back in a few days with the reunion. You know what I'm saying? Talking about that.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, that should be cool. And we're gonna keep, like I said, I'm looking forward to some of these other shows. I'm kind of burnt out on Love Is Blind just because of the.
I think you don't really. The concept is kind of.
Because I don't believe the concept.
Irritating for you. I know.
Like, and that's my own screwed up mentality. Like, yes, you can find love without seeing a person. That's all fine and dandy. I personally, I have to have some really ill conversations in those pods. Like, I have to really be sitting there, like, you have to stimulate my mind. And one, that's not hard to do necessarily. It is, but it's not. Once you find out a topic that I'm into.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I can be kind of very offsetting and low-key dismissive if I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying?
So, you like so many things. Like, you're into so many things.
Yeah, but you gotta have depth with those.
You have to, yeah.
You can't just be a certain person like, oh my God, I love Michael Jackson. What was that song, man? And if you don't get out of my face, I ain't trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to get deep into it, we can get deep into it. You know how that rocks. You know what I'm saying? So,
I know how that rocks. Apparently, I have good conversation, right?
Yeah, she has some decent music taste too. She's pretty good on those things. So
thank you.
But hey, this was our review on this here.
Yeah.
So we will see y'all in a few days when the reunion and whatnot. I'm gonna pause these lives here, and we're gonna be right back because we're getting ready to actually. Let's do our sign off and then.
Okay. All right. So follow us on all of our social media channels, Jey and Meka, on everything. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram,
Twitch.
Facebook, and Twitch, actually.
Yeah. Share this and
share,
help us grow.
Please share.
Get to the business and other stuff. So
yeah, comment, do all of that. Let us know what else y'all would like to see us talk about. Any questions y'all have that you want us to answer. That'll be great too. We're very interactive. We do reply to comments, all that. So hit us up.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all around.
All right.
And we'll be back on in a second. Actually, we're going to be doing Love During Lockup season finale.
Yeah.
That just happened too. So check for the next slide. Probably be in about 5 minutes. We'll just change these backgrounds. Well, they can stay on here, actually. I'm going to